take that. And particularly in bridges when they become completely useless for the need of the time. But here we're talking about a bridge that doesn't get much traffic. If it was renovated for only cars only, it's never going to get a lot of heavy usage and deteriorate in overload conditions. It sits in an amazingly attractive setting visually. And it hasn't been salted. As we all know, the major cause of deterioration of our bridges is salt attack, salt on highways. This is on a gravel road that never gets salted. So it never has been salted, so it hasn't deteriorated badly, and it evidently never will get salted, so it has a really good chance of a long life. I would think, from a broader heritage point of view, this is the Ontario Bridge of the pin-connected truss that should be renovated. It shows by far, I think, the brightest opportunity to do that, and due to its long-term potential use, it's likely to stay many, many years. The county has closed the bridge, and some people have spoken to me and said, well, you know, we know heavy trucks can cross that bridge, and I guess we all realise that. But once they have closed the bridge, there's no way, I would think, legally that they can reopen that bridge without carrying out a full, proper evaluation of the structure. I mean, they're assuming a liability for the safety of that bridge, which could only really be given if they carry out a thorough and proper evaluation of the load carrying capacity of the bridge. And that needs to be done by a specialist bridge engineer, not somebody who does bridges on the side and buildings or everything else. It needs a specialist who's familiar with the codes of the day. It's also been indicated to me, as you've heard, that 2 or 3 students from Pastoral College are going to be using this project as a thesis undertaking. And some people have said, well, you know, the student endeavour isn't going to be really relevant as far as the ability to save the bridge. Well, I dispute that. I think they can provide a very valuable service. And my experience goes back a number of years to the 1970s. I joined the Research and Development Division of the Ministry when we had a newcomer to the Research and Development Division who just got his master's degree at the University of Toronto, and his thesis project was on the heritage Sioux Narrows Bridge, which is the longest timber truss bridge in North America, 250-foot span. It's a wonderful example of a heritage structure. It was due for demolition, and he undertook this as a student project to examine it in full detail, and then joined the ministry, brought that knowledge of what he had done, applied it into research. We load tested the bridge and found it was quite capable of carrying loads. Unfortunately, once again, over 30 years later, which is 30 years extra in a wooden bridge life is substantial, again it's going to be replaced, I'm afraid, but we're still hoping that the old bridge can be maintained in parallel with the new bridge that they have to build. So the student work is really important. If they are able to work several months doing a detailed investigation, they can then pass that on to the consulting engineer, who I hope will be hired, a qualified consulting engineer, and he's got a platform to start from based on